On Thursday, Japan will begin releasing water into the sea from its wrecked Fukushima nuclear plant. The country's running out of tanks for the treated radioactive water following a nuclear disaster caused by an earthquake and tsunami back in 2011. Neighbors China and South Korea are angry and concerned that the release will create environmental hazards in the shared ocean. Ines Ferre is here with more on this, as well as nuclear power more broadly. Ines?
Yeah, Julie, and this is part of a $150 billion cleanup of that nuclear plant that you're referring to in Fukushima. It was damaged. Its reactor buildings were damaged back in 2011. So why do this? As you were just mentioning, they're running out of space to store this water. It's treated contaminated water. So it's been contaminated, but it's been treated to strip out radioactive elements. But there's one element in it called tritium, which it's very difficult to separate from the water. And in very high dosages, it is carcinogenous. So how much of this water are we talking about? We're talking about an amount that would fill about 500 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Now, it's important to note that a lot of nuclear plants release water that has some low doses of radioactive elements in them, including tritium. And this is done normally, and they're called authorized releases. And what the utility company in Japan is saying is that they are going to combine this treated water with seawater to dilute it so that the levels will be far below the Japanese government standard levels and also the levels that are required by the World Health Organization. But of course, you do have nearby countries. You've got environmentalists that are saying, look, there hasn't been enough testing on this element. And also you have concerns about the perception, the fishing industry also, and the perception that this release will have.
So, Ines, further down that perception, the perception of nuclear power has shifted over the years. So what do the latest surveys show about how Americans feel about nuclear energy?
Yeah, there's a recent Pew survey, and you see the results right there. 57% of Americans favor more nuclear power plants versus 43% back in 2020. So there has been a shift in perception. Americans, though, they're still more likely to favor solar power, 82% of them, and 75% that are favoring nuclear power. Now, you have also support of Democrats and Republicans that has been increasing since 2020 when it comes to nuclear. And it's also important to note that you have some bigwigs in the industry that are talking about this as well. So you've got Elon Musk that has said that you need more nuclear because we have to go to Mars and for all the space endeavors. You have Sam Altman that has his SPAC, and that is going to be taking nuclear energy company public. But still, if you take a look at the landscape of nuclear plants in the U.S., there's 93 of them. There's also one that's being constructed right now. And so that is down from 111 back in 1990, because at the end of the day, these are still hard to sell. Look, the pro of nuclear is that it produces zero carbon emissions, but the cons is that it does produce radioactive waste and also the possibility of accidents, the risk of an accident. And many people do not want to live near these, so it's not in my backyard. They're a hard sell still.
Ines Ferre, thanks so much for tracking this survey and the results and breaking this down for us. Appreciate it.